At ease, it's your boy Soul Immortal. Real quick, man, first I want to say, if you haven't subscribed to the new channel, go ahead and subscribe now. I just dropped a new video on there, man. We're getting a lot of good feedback, a lot of good conversation going on in the comment section. Second, I want to say, if you haven't subscribed to the IG, I'll leave a link below for that also. Just start putting up IGTV videos, and I'll be doing that, so you'll catch some videos that aren't on YouTube and that aren't on Patreon. Third, I want to say thank you. Thank you to all that have just subscribed. Thank you to all the people who subscribe to Patreon, Instagram, everything. I really appreciate it. And I want to give a special thanks to a couple of people that have sent gifts. I received a gift in the mail the other day of a picture of, it was actually a puzzle of a picture when I was in South Africa. I thought that was pretty dope, and I just want to say I really appreciate it. I also received this hat from a very special person. Got engraved Immortal Mindz on the back, so I really appreciate that. Anybody who wants to send me a fitted to rep their city, I'll give a shout out. Anybody who wants me to rep their business, send a hat, t-shirt, I'll rep it. Send it to my P.O. box. I'll make sure I leave a link below. So normally, when we talk about red pill knowledge, right, we're talking about the relationship between men and women. And I still think that's vital information because I feel that women are man's greatest hurdle, right? But just like I said, a year, maybe 2 years ago in a video, taking the red pill is no different than taking any other form of medication. You can't just take medication and focus on one part of the body. It's going over the whole body, right? Now, I normally don't discuss politics, nor do I discuss religion. And the reason is because once I do, I step on several toes. So I just don't mess with it, right? But due to one particular event that just took place, I feel that it's important for me to shed light on one particular area, right? So I guess a few weeks ago, the Church of Notre Dame, or whatever it's officially called, caught on fire, caused several a large amount of damage, and within so many hours or so many days, people were able to raise over $1 billion for this church, right? Now, as soon as that happened, people got on social media making all these memes, making all these comments, saying stuff like, it's a shame that, the water in Flint is still bad. It's a shame that people in certain parts of the country are starving. It's a shame that, homelessness is still out of control, but we can raise $1 billion in a day for a building that's caught on fire, right? Now, I read those statements and I paused because a part of me said, you know what? You're right. Like the world is in a wreck right now. There's a lot of things that $1 billion could have went to. But the other part of me just started laughing because I observed the hypocrisy in all these comments. Today, man, I want to talk about the $420 billion shackle in our current state of hypocrisy. Let's talk about it. So a few weeks ago, I got an invitation to attend church. Now, the reason I point that out, because anybody that knows me knows that if somebody didn't die or somebody's not getting married, you probably won't see me in a church. And it's not that I'm anti-church. The thing is that my relationship with the Most High is just so personal, and I just have different views than the average church, right? So you typically won't see me there. But I got an invitation and I decided to go, right? So I woke up early one Sunday morning and drove to my beautiful hometown of Longview, Texas to attend church, right? Now, as soon as I walked in, it was an older building, older church. As soon as I walked in, man, I was shocked at how beautiful this church was. It was older, but it was pretty much all wood ceilings, floors, walls. It was nice, man, very nice. The people there seemed very authentic. And I began to enjoy myself. That Sunday, it happened to be an all-male choir singing. Them boys were going hard. I was enjoying it. Life was good, and for a second I was like, you know what? Like maybe every once in a while I can fall through. You know, I can pull up and spend a little time here, right? I was feeling it, and all of a sudden, I would hear these 5 words that would instantly open my third eye back up. Will a man rob God? Now, this is where the manipulation kicks in. This is where religion has pulled off the most perfectly executed misdirection. This is where your pastor is pulling off the perfect play action. Because that pastor went on to make everybody in that church feel guilty if they didn't go to the bottom of their purse or go to the bottom of their wallet and pull out everything. He even went to the point to say, you know what? This is what I'm giving. You know, I'm not going to put it in the collection plate. I'm going to put it in, I'm going to lay it right here on the table so everybody can see it as they walk by. That's BS. Now, this is what the manipulation is, right? This is the manipulation. Religion has convinced people to believe that the church is a building. The church has never been the building. What the church is the people. That's the manipulation. Because once you realize that, it changes everything. Why is that important? You have to go back to what Jesus said the 2 greatest commandments were, right? The first greatest commandment was to love the Most High with all your heart. Don't love anybody else. I'm paraphrasing, of course, right? That's number 1. But number 2 was to love your brother as you love yourself. Now, man, it took me years to make sense of that second one. Because in my mind, I was like, man, surely I could have thought of something better than that for number 2. You know what I'm saying? It took me years to understand number 2. But then, you know, over time it made sense. Because 1, it says that the believers, that the people are the sons and daughters of God. The Bible says that ye are God's. And then it made sense when I read the parable about when the man and Jesus was talking about, I guess, how worthy the guy was. And the guy was like, I've been doing this, I've been doing this, I've been doing all this stuff. Surely I love God. And Jesus was saying, you don't love God. Because see, this is what people do. This is what the churchgoer does, the average churchgoer does, right? You know, you wake up on Sunday morning, you know, a man puts on his finest suit, you know what I mean, creased up. He's right. Woman puts up on her dress. She's looking good. She's got the big hat on, you know what I mean? They're on the way to church. They back out of the driveway, right? As they're backing out of the driveway, they look over to the right and they see the neighbor that just lost his job. The neighbor that has a wife with a baby on the way. The neighbor that has kids that he can't feed, right? And they'll wave at him like it's all to the gravy, you know what I mean? They going to church. They going through downtown. They got to stop, right? Because they see the homeless man pushing a cart across the street. Man hadn't had a meal, hadn't had a drink in days. They're blowing the horn because they're late for church. You know, get out of the way. Then they drive by the county jail, right? They look up on the hill. They see the jail. They're making a quick conversation about all the friends that they have up in there. Haven't seen any letters. Haven't seen any commissary money. But they're in there, right? And then they get to church, right? They're looking all good. And they hear those 5 famous words. Will a man rob God? And they have the nerve to stand up and walk down the aisle. Men with his chest pumped out. Woman with a brand new hat cocked to the side. Walking as if they are holier than thou. And they think they're doing God a favor. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You know, when the man was telling Jesus, you know, I love God, you know, and Jesus was like, you don't know God. Because he said, when I was hungry, you didn't feed me. When I was thirsty, you didn't give me drink. When I didn't have shelter, you didn't offer me a place to stay. When I was locked up, when I was in prison, didn't nobody come see me. He says, you don't love God. He says, brother, you don't even know God. So the hypocrisy that bothers me is that I see a mass amount of people sit here and mock all these people raising $1 billion a day. When they've been living their whole lives doing this. Statistics show that just the black churches alone have raised over $420 billion to go toward building bigger buildings. You know, we don't need bigger churches. We don't need preachers with bigger cars, preachers with jets. We need better people. That's what the masses don't understand. That's what people don't get. If you find me a church that's having service up under a nice tent, but they're building shelters, they're feeding the homeless, they have programs going to talk to people in prison, then you got my attention. Then you got a church that's doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? And when I say church, I still mean a body of people. You know what I'm saying? We've been manipulated, and a lot of people are just in a state of hypocrisy. You know, a few weeks ago, I made a video about all things working for the good. And if we can look at this whole Notre Dame church burning situation and extract any good from it, it would be, you know, that this is the opportunity for us to look at ourselves through a lens, you know what I mean, through a mirror, you know, and see where we're doing it wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because just think what life would be like in our communities if instead of sending $420 billion to build bigger buildings, we put that money back in ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Think how different life would be. Think how less young men would be in gangs. Think how many people wouldn't be in prison. Think how many, you know, marriages would still be together. Anything. You know, we have to understand that. You know, if you want to give, you know, your tithes and offering, you know, pay the elderly couples, you know, bills that are deciding between, you know, heat and getting their medication. You know what I'm saying? You know, pay the bills of that single parent that's trying to make ends meet and they lost their job. Do anything to help somebody make their lives better. That's what's given to God. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying don't give to church, you know, because you can give 10%, you can give 20, 30%. Give your whole check to the church. But don't think you're doing that for God. Don't think that God has benefited from this. Because that's not what it is. You know what I'm saying? We have to do better. We have to do better. It's your boy Soul Immortal. And I'm out.